Now, with the recent introduction of the Armory update to Counter-Strike 2 and an operation size of cosmetics, players have begun finding new ways to earn stars at the fastest rate possible, even after Valve continues to try and act against it. Whereas in some instances, this has led CS devs to ban farmers in the mass. And with this update being released for near a week now, after taking the rose-tinted glasses off, you have to sit back and think if Valve knew this would happen, especially since you can't buy stars like in previous battle passes and operations, and of course because there's money involved. Today's video, I want to break down the fallout from this most recent update and how the plague of XP farmers in all game modes for CS2 will further affect the game. Will Valve act on this any further? Could Valve eventually add the ability to buy stars or limit how many you can earn in a day to stop these farmers? We're going to discuss all that alongside a bunch more. Today's video sponsor is SkinsMonkey. SkinsMonkey is a CS2 trading site for all your skin needs. Whether you're choosing to deposit your in-game items or real-life cash, SkinsMonkey has it all. If you choose to trade yet need to top up your balance, you can do so by also using my code MANDO for a free $5. Alongside depositing, you get an additional 35% of a deposit bonus. With SkinsMonkey's large variety of skins, they also offer daily, weekly, and monthly giveaways. If interested, the link will be in the top of the description down below. Now, you may have just gotten off work, having your lunch break, or maybe you're home for the weekend. You may have tried to boot up the game, try to get in a deathmatch or casual lobby, but you're gonna end up seeing in chat that players are asking everyone to meet mid or a certain place on a certain map and take turns as a CT or T to try and kill each other with the P90. And if you don't do that, you're gonna be kicked. And for those who don't know, this is due to the Armory update releasing and players trying to farm as many stars as possible to unlock the new skins, and therefore for them to either sell them or keep them to try and profit in the long haul. Now, to get an idea of how many stars you can earn just by playing the game normally, if you play a deathmatch getting a dozen or so or more kills, you're gonna get 1 to 2 stars, depending also on how many passes you have. Now, like Valve has stated, you can earn up to 5 stars a game. I've seen the best modes to play are deathmatch and casual, but before this most recent patch on October 4th, players were managing to get 11 plus stars a game by specifically the exploits and Dust 2. But the problem with that is those skins won't be so expensive in the long run if everyone's doing the exact same thing. Now, like we mentioned earlier, this is just most people wanting to earn free profit and not waste time. And for some players who have taken this route, they have and are continuing to get banned from Valve. They log on the next day realizing their Steam account has been locked due to exploiting for XP. And it's not just everyday players doing this as well, it's also streamers, which they have caught a lot of flack for doing this recently, and some may say this has caused a lot of other people who watch their streams to follow suit and end up with a ban versus the actual streamer. And as of right now, I'm not talking about streamers, I'm talking about Valve here. A question for you guys is, do you guys think Valve knew this would happen? Now, in my opinion, if all the devs sat down and talked about this was probably thrown in the air, yes, but it wasn't probably going to be this bad to this extent, if that makes any sense. With the recent rise over the last few years of case farming and multi-million-dollar operations opening, I'm not really surprised. That being by the people who are farming for stars. But I just think some precautions could have taken place in the first place. Like on October 4th, when we got the update that reduces XP for knife and util kills. That, in my opinion, probably should have gone live before the update came out, or around the same time. Is banning people the correct way to go about it? Because there's not really any rules against it, you're just playing the game, and that's really just the gray area here. Now, in my opinion, if it's a case farm situation, then sure, ban the people. And I'm talking about a whole operation and not just some kid in his mom's basement. If it's just one kid, and he's just trying to see how much he can get away with, some of y'all might disagree with this, but just give him a temporary cooldown, and maybe give people a reminder as they boot into the game. For an example, when you boot up Fortnite and get in a match, it tells you not to share your password. Maybe Valve could put on screen not to exploit for stars, or something in that nature. But it also just goes back to having precautions before this update even arrived. And like I mentioned previously, at the rate players are earning stars, for some it's Tony a game, for some it's 1 to 5, depending if you're using exploits or playing legitimately, and of course how many passes you have. Skins from this battle pass in the next month or so, in my opinion, are not going to be as rare as some players are thinking, mainly due to the exploits and people just, well, getting as many stars as possible. But what I will say is this, that this operation, whatever you want to call this, Valve calls it an operation, this is the most consumer-friendly way that Valve has ever released to, well, get new skins. Now, for what Valve could do in the long run to stop these XP farmers is they could cap how many stars you could earn in a day on an individual account. But is that fair for the people who bought those passes? Valve could change how XP is monitored, but that'd also be next to impossible. Yes, they did it on October 4th, but the more restrictions you put in the game, the more gray area there is, and I have a feeling the more innocent people would also get banned too. Now, ending today's video is for when content is about to ship. When content is ready to ship out for Counter-Strike 2, specifically for this Armory update or somehow attached to it, I think Valve could very well add co-op missions and objectives for players to complete like an operation, pretty much just new ways to earn stars. But maybe co-op missions are just a thing of the past. Now, don't get me wrong, previous operations for Counter-Strike were a whole lot of fun. This recent tweet from Don Hassey, in my opinion, pretty much sums up how fun they were, especially versus today's standards. Ain't nobody enjoy the get 25 headshots with the M249 in casual missions, and I completely agree. Now, as cool as it is that Valve would have a whole structured layout for us and a bunch of different missions in order that we'd have to complete to get stars to, well, complete the operation, that would be cool, but like I just mentioned, I think that might be a thing of the past. With that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Stay positive, sexy. I'm out, guys. Peace.